Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to the Lab of Heat and Mass Transfer, Department of Mechanical Engineering, New Campus. So today we are going to perform the lab session number 3. Here it is lab session number 3. The name of the lab session is to apply the Fourier rate equation for steady flow of heat through cylindrical solid materials. And its learning objective is to identify a given sample by determining its thermal conductivity. So we will use a concept of Fourier rate equation and its thermal conductivity in this experiment. The operators we will use is called as radial heat transfer unit. Its serial number is H111B. We will use additional equipment as a hydraulic bench, specimen of different materials, main digital control panel, and temperature sensor. So these all operators will be used here. So now before going into detail, I will like to tell you something about the Fourier equation. The heat flow is, if you are talking about the radial heat transfer, then this is the figure. At the center of this figure, there will be a heater. And at the outer edge of this figure, mean the most outer radius, there is a cooling flow, mean cooling water flow. We are continuously providing the cooling at the outer edge and heating at the center. So heat is continuously flowing from center to outer edge. So after some time, there will be established the constant heat flow, and that will be steady. That is will be called as steady heat flow from hotter section to colder section. So now you can see that at different radiuses we have attached, this is radius R1, R2, R3, R4 and up to so on. We have attached different sensors which will measure the value of temperature on this section. So these sensors are called as thermocouples. So on our operators we have attached 6 different thermocouples on 6 different radius. So that they will provide us the readings of temperature at the different radii. So now the formula for this Fourier rate equation is this given. This is Q is heat flow is equal to 2 pi K is thermal conductivity, L is the length, and then the change of temperature divided by log of ratio of radiuses. So we will use this basic formula to calculate the thermal conductivity. Now you can see the table here. In this table we have 6 different values of temperature on different radiuses, and the values and the distance of these all thermocouple from the center. This is also given. For example, the thermocouple 1, it is at a distance of 0.007 meter from the center. Then thermocouple 2, it is placed at the distance of 0.010 from the center, and up to so on the temperature T6. So we will adjust the different values of voltage and current, and against each value of voltage we will measure the 6 values of these temperatures from the apparatuses. So now let us begin the experiment on our operators, and after that experiment we will see that how we will use to calculate the different parameters by using these measured values from the operators. Okay, now we are working on the operators. This is called as radial heat transfer unit. Now you can see this operators as it is a disk on the top of this operators. You can see this disk. I am pointing from my laser point. At the center of this disk there is a heater, and at the outer edge of this disk there is a flow of water which provides the cold section. So from this heater to outer edge the heat is continuously flowing. So due to the reason that we are continuously providing the water supply to keep outer edge of this at a cold section, and we are continuously providing the heat at the center of this disk. So the heat flow is basically it is called as steady flow heat. So now we will see how it will work now. Now the person who is working in the lab, he is just going to provide the flow of water, and he is attaching the uh, supply of water through hydraulic bench to this apparatus. This is the main console or main unit. He's just attaching the apparatus with this main unit, and this main unit will provide us the reading of voltage, current, and all the temperatures. So on this disk, on this apparatus, there are a number of thermocouples attached on different sections of the disk, and we will measure the temperature at different radius of the apparatus, and he is just attaching all of these sockets, all of these switches into sockets. So uh, these all connections will provide us the values of temperature on this main unit. So there are number written on all of these sockets. So he is just attaching them on their respective sockets according to their number. So there are total 6 sensors. So he has attached 6 thermocouple switches to this main unit, and he just has switched on the main unit. Now he will provide the water supply. He is just adjusting the voltage value. Uh, After provided some value, you have to wait for 10 minutes for stabilize the voltage, but before that you need to provide a water supply from hydraulic bench. So now he's just taking the readings from T1 to T6. So he's just rotating the knobs, and he's just getting the values of different temperature. So now you can see that he has switched on the hydraulic bench and water flow. So after some time, after 10 to 20 minutes, the flow of heat will be stabilized, and you will take the reading after at least 10 to 15 minutes after switching on of this operator. So he is just adjusting the flow of water. Now you can see that there are readings appearing, voltage of 144 volts and current of 0.159 ampere, and against this voltage value you can take the values of this six temperature values. So he is just rotating the knob. It is on T4 now, and now he has switched it on T3, and we can take the readings, and he has switched it on to T2, and we will take the reading of T2 and then T1. So after taking all of these readings, we will change the value of this voltage. It is now 143 volts. We will change it. We have changed we will change the value, and then again will give some time to stabilize the readings. After changing the value of voltage, you will have to wait at least for 10 to 15 minutes so that the readings may be stabilized, and then you will take the readings for all of these temperatures. So you will take 3 to 4 set of readings against different values of voltages. So now he's just taking the different values of temperature against this voltage of 144 volts. So this is all the assembly of operators working here. So this is the main unit, and you will take at least 4 set of reading, and you may take 5 to 6 set of readings. Mean you will rotate the knob. You will take the different values of voltage and current, and against these values of voltage and current, the temperature values will change, and you will measure the values of temperature by rotating this knob. Okay, everyone. Now we have got the different readings. For example, we have got the temperatures against different values of these voltages. For example, if we have got the 4 set of readings, mean we have got 4 different voltages and currents, and against these voltages we have got different values of temperatures. The temperature values are T1, T2, T3, T4, 5, and 6. And we already know that these are temperatures are measured through a sensors, and they are placed at at these distances from the center. I mean, this is the distance r1, this is r2, is the distance of sensor 2 from the center, and this is the distance of r3, r4, r5, and r6. So now we have got the values of r1, r2, r3, r4, r5, and r6, and different values of temperature t1, t2, t3, t4, t5, t6, and these are all values of temperatures are against some value of voltage and current. Now we will learn how we will calculate our formulas by using these all values. So now this is our table which we will uh, construct after the calculations. So first column showing the Q value, heat transfer. Heat is actually we are transferring the heat through a heater. So we will measure the value of heat. We will calculate the value of heat by using the voltage and current. It is the voltage and current product of voltage and current, VI. So this is the value of Q. Then this is the formula of to measure the to calculate the thermal conductivity. So in this formula, we are using the one value of Q that is given from this column. This is log of R6 over R1. You know that we have got all the values of R1 and R6 in our previous table. And then we have the value of T1 and T6. We have measured these values from the experiment. And this is value of 2 pi. Pi is 3, the value of pi is 3.1416, and this x is basically the thickness or a length of disk, and this is given here. You can see here this is 0.0032 meter. Similarly, this is one value of thermoconductivity. If you want to calculate the thermal conductivity on some different section or some different radius, then again you will use this formula in this way, but you will change the value of this radiuses and temperatures. For example, we are using here R3 and R1. We know the value of R3 and R1, and then T1 and T3, we know the values. Remaining all of the things are same. And similarly, if we want to measure this thermal conductivity on some third option on some different temperature and radiuses, then here is third option. You can use your formula R6 over R4. So you can use the value of radiuses for your choice, and similarly the respective values of temperature difference that also will change from T4 and T6. Remaining values are same. So now you will get the three values of thermal conductivity on different sections, and ideally these are values of thermal conductivity should be same. If it is not coming to be same, then you need to comment that what are the problems you have performed in your experiment. So this is the way you will complete the reading. You have 4 set of readings, so you will calculate all of 4 sets to calculate the values of this thermal conductivity. Now finally, you need to conduct some statistical analysis again. For all the thermal conductivity values, theoretical values are given in literature. You have got your experimental value. You will take the difference to measure the percentage error. And these X is showing the value of thermal conductivity. Actually, if you have got 4 set of reading, you will just add them and divide by them by 4. And if you have got the 3 set of readings, you will add them and just you will divide it by 3. So you will get the average value, and it is finally the value of standard deviation. Its formula, as per the formula, you will just take the difference of first reading with average, then second with average, and then third with average. So just you will scare them, you will divide them by n minus 1. N is the number of observations you have made in your readings, and you will just take the square root of all of these values to calculate the standard deviation. So now you have got the standard deviation. The final work is to draw a graph. You will plot a graph between radius from heated radius and the temperature. So I will show you it in the table. These are the different values of temperatures, and you will just plot their graph against these values of radiuses. You will take the values of these radiuses on x-axis, and you will take the values of all of these temperatures on y-axis, and you will plot the graph of all of these temperatures on against these values of radiuses. And if you have 4 set of readings or observation, you will have to draw up 4 graphs. So this is all about the experiment number lab session number 3.